I'm Elaine.
And I'm Rachel.
And welcome to
Legs Out.
And away we go. This is the podcast where we tell you about Formula One our way. The races, the cars, the drivers. We are obsessed.
And here's why you should be too.
Welcome back, Rachel.
Well, hello. Do I sound Scottish yet?
No.
I sound like I shoved 2 months of exploration into a week. That's what I sound like, but unfortunately, not Scottish.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling up to your best.
That's okay. The British GP...
Your best what? I don't know. Just not your best.
Just not my best. But the British GP demands to be discussed. And so here we are. And I will sound back to my overly tire-obsessed self next week. No, I'm still going to be obsessed about the tires. But, cheery self next week.
Exactly. That is fine. Well, we missed you. It was great having Morgan on the podcast. But, there's no place like home, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Morgan. I loved getting to laugh along, and I actually listened to the episode before I watched the race because turns out, that in the UK, Sky Sports holds the license. And so since I wasn't watching live, I then just couldn't watch the race for several days. I did run out of a Scottish pub to avoid spoilers before realizing, no, I really should have sat down and watched the last couple of laps because that was as close as I was going to get to the Austrian GP for several days.
I just want to say, this is not the first time that has happened.
Nope.
This happened, I think, 2 years ago when we were all together in Austin. Randomly at a bar, they were replaying a race.
It was Australia. It was Australia.
Australia.
So we had a show, and so we were out late, and we were doing the thing that we do, which is, of course, we have to congratulate ourselves with a little celebratory drink. And so since it's Australia, it started in the night. And so we're at a bar, and I casually look up at the TV, and I see a Mercedes, and I tried, for the sake of our friend group, to just sit there and not look at the TV, but then...
That is not what happened.
Well, no, remember this gentleman walked up to us and then was starting to talk to us about what was on the TV, right? And I was like, I have to get out of here.
I
lost the plot.
All I remember is Rachel shrieking. There was a shriek, and then there was a complete exit, like cloud of smoke in her wake, and she left. And this gentleman who he'd already had a few. He was toasty.
Oh, yeah.
He was sitting at the table with us, and he looked around and he goes, "What's her problem?" And I said, "It's okay. She's Spanish."
What? Wait, I thought I made up that. I was trying. Yes. Wow, our lore has convoluted. Yeah. But this time I also tried to vanish in a bit of smoke. I shoved my sister out of the booth and I said, "Go, I gotta go. And I then had to walk back in calmly because we had just ordered beers and had to be there. But so it was, to bring that back to the original point, Morgan, you were great.
Thank you for stepping in last week. All right, I want to jump right into the newsroom because
we have so much to talk about.
God, was this a sprint weekend last year? I think the British Grand Prix was just the race at Silverstone. I don't think it was the sprint.
I think you're right.
So what an exciting track to get a sprint and a full race. This was like quite a little fun surprise.
Agreed. What was not a fun surprise, and actually something that we've known for a while, but I feel like I haven't seen his face to be reminded of this, is that the FIA has voted to revoke the term limits of their president. Mohammed bin Sulayem, as we remember, is not our favorite human being, and now he will be in power indefinitely. Why any of these FIA clubs would choose to vote for that, I don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing about dictatorship, is that the people who are involved in the dictatorship...
Emphasis on the first part of that word?
They don't get... yes, Rachel! The people who are involved in said dictatorship don't always get a full choice in what they are voting for. And so not only have the term limits been revoked, but also the age limitation. It used to be that there was an age cap, and now the age cap has been removed. So our lovely MBS can serve until he is 105. Bless.
Lovely. I hope that he finds lots of peace not in the FIA. We didn't have any peace. I'm moving us right along because I'm like, you don't deserve any more of our airtime. We had no peace yesterday because Will Buxton, who in hindsight, y'all, he's now an IndyCar commentator. Why were we all convinced it was Formula One news? But as a whole, the entire F1 community was like, yep, this is about Max or Horner. It can't be anything else. It's got to be one of those two things. And what was it?
I don't even remember because it was so unimportant in the scheme of things.
Well, it's actually massive for IndyCar. There's been like a whole switch up for like the McLaren team. They've basically taken some really big players and then kicked out their driver of the season. And so it is going to be silly season over there for sure. But yeah, it was not necessarily the pivotal news that we thought it was going to be. So I guess a little bit shame on us for not remembering where his paychecks come from at this point, and why he would be the only one to break the F1 news.
I have to say this. I feel like we get quite a bit of this, and I know that's the style, but I am so sick of the hype fake news. It's like, hype, something's going to happen, what's going to happen? And then it was nothing. Thank God, because I forgot to put this in our outline, but it is worth a mention that our lovely scum of a human being friend, Christian Horner, showed up in the paddock again this weekend. Welcome back, asshole. Looking like a proper douche, just walking around. That's all I have to say about that.
He's releasing a memoir.
Oh!
Yeah.
Of course, why not? You know what every white wealthy man needs? A privilege? A fucking memoir. Excuse me. That got Rachel.
I've set you right off.
Got me right away. Go fuck yourself right off.
Do you want to guess what the title of the memoir is?
Nothing spells better than my farts.
Oh no, that's a whole new level of low.
All I like is power and a fine wine with a fast car.
Think less original. Think one word.
Oh. Car.
Drive.
Drive.
Close. Drive. Why would we add any pizzazz? We could just name another car memoir. Drive. It's like Drive to Survive, but he was like, well, let's not get too close so that we're not litigated against, because he knows about that, right? So just drive.
Rachel.
You know what? We watched some great racing this weekend, and yet here we are mad.
I did not think you had the ability to set me off further than I was already pissed, but dang.
Welcome everyone to a calm summer day. No, we're gonna rage. Okay, but
back to crimes.
Back to crimes. That should just be the second tagline. Not of us, of course, but just of
that should be
general.
His third memoir after Flavio publishes it first.
Oh, sure.
He can take it, but it'll be like in a different language. And then they won't care because they just steal from each other.
Sure.
Anyway.
It's like this series of unfortunate events, except instead of following the same family, you switch around the families. It's like a series, but it's F1 crime makers. Good. Well, someone give them a record deal, but don't pay them any money. Record?
Exactly.
Book deal. There we go.
Give them the book deal and then donate all the proceeds to children in karting who need the money.
There you go. Actually, this benefits everyone. Let's do that. Great.
Love. Okay. Should we talk about the cute little go-kart race? I missed the Legos. I was really hoping there would be Legos, but it was hysterical.
It was, I'm going to be honest, not as fun as Miami last year to me.
Fair.
It was still really fun. Like, it's really fun. But I feel like it's trying to remake some magic that just wonderfully happened in real time last time. And this time I was like, oh, okay, it's fun. But like Lewis Hamilton was like, can you stop making me do unpaid media opportunities? And as a dancer who often gets told to like, not at this point because I don't agree to this, but it's very often of like, well, this is for exposure. And so I feel a little like my hackles rise when I think about people doing media work or artwork for no money. And like, yeah, sure, he's a gajillionaire, but also his work is still his work. So that colored it a little bit for me.
That's a really interesting commentary on that. I bristle also at the fact that he's like, it's unpaid because, again, you don't need the money. Like, fucking forget about the money. However, what he should have said was, this feels like puppeteering. I am not a marionette. You may not attach me to strings and make me do this stupid bullshit that I don't want to do. Like that, 100% I agree with. It's a little patronizing. If he, some people had fun. The best thing that came out of that was the picture or the like clip of Carlos Sainz on the back of Lando Norris's car. I mean, like, Carlando, can we bring them back together?
At this point, literally, because the Williams fortunes are giving me an aneurysm. But yes, you're right. And I should also not, I feel like that was slightly covered by our anger at the two men previous to this point. But like, the Lego race was fun. I also then entered into it knowing that not all the drivers were like super pleased to be doing it. So I was both enjoying the frivolity and the chaos and the gravel benching that they did to themselves, and also like, hold on, don't they need to like get in a high-powered race car in like an hour?
It's a little much, I agree. But I mean, saying, why am I undoing this, the unpaid, to each his own. I actually loving the Hamilton vibes this weekend. I'm very into this. Yes. So in the sprint, I think we could just jump right into the sprint. Yeah. Hamilton took pole for sprint qualifying, and I don't think anyone in England has ever been happier. I mean, it was massive. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, this was teed up really interestingly because no one expected it. Yes, we had Barcelona. Yes, we've seen Ferrari be slowly on an uptick, but themselves included were like, we're not going to be great here. Even though Lewis Hamilton is definitely one of those drivers that I think gets the benefit of a home turf advantage. Nigel Mansell has talked about, to the extent that's kind of crazy, how much being at the home track helps him. I don't think Lewis Hamilton would ascribe that much, but like, the man is kind of magical here. So maybe we should not have ever written him off. But they were like, no, this isn't going to be our track. And then, ta-da!
There it is. There it is. I was almost disappointed.
What? Why?
When Kimi passed it. All right, so moving on right to the sprint. You wrote Yo-Yo Deluxe, which is the perfect analogy.
Yeah. I know that we've tread this ground many times, but we keep getting new data points. Did you enjoy this particular bit of Yo-Yo Deluxe, or are you over it? What's your heart say here?
Gut answer. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And we've talked a lot on this podcast about, is it authentic? Is it being manipulated by all of the super clipping and now all of the harvesting that they have to do? Yes, 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 and I still think it is interesting. It's what we've got. I think at this point, I've accepted the fact this is what we've got. We're working with what we've got. This is the season we have been dealt. We are playing with the cards we have. We can no longer go back. Wouldn't you?
We cannot, yes.
Yeah. Although, I wanted Hamilton to win this one. I wanted him to take it. I felt like he needed that.
Yes, especially as we got further into the weekend. He did need that. I must confess that my little Charles Leclerc heart is like, good, I want you to keep succeeding because you're excellent, and I want you to keep succeeding, but I want you to keep succeeding a tiny bit less than Charles Leclerc. But we'll stay in the sprint for now. Gabby Bortoletto actually agrees with you. He basically came out in the last weekend saying, we can't keep complaining for like 3 years. This is what we have. Like, I don't want to keep talking about this. And I think that's probably partially because he's sick of being asked about it, and maybe a little bit also because he's like, we're still going fast. This is the thing. The sprint, I enjoyed. I think the entertainment factor was really high, really fun. I don't like the sour feeling later where I'm like, but did I watch something artificial? But it is entertaining, but it's always the question of like entertainment versus real sport.
You will have noticed that Max is no longer complaining about the engines, the harvesting, the super clipping. He's moved on because technically
he's got
has
bigger problems.
fish to fry. But
poor
Max. I think everybody is now at the point where they're like, we've got to just buckle down and deal with what we have. So that's it.
Yeah. Well, and for a bit of like fresh air of like things that we did really enjoy, Lando Norris, despite not having the car that could take him to the front of the field again, that man must have been living his like Technicolor luminescent dreams, because holy crap, was there like 16,000 fans in the Lando stand for him.
I mean, we're talking about the Lewis fandom, because obviously it's huge in Great Britain. But the Lando fandom, they don't play.
Yeah.
They are all decked out in that neon yellow, and I fucking love it. It's like someone took a yellow highlighter and colored half the stands in. I love it.
And then made sure that there was one brightly colored umbrella to throw upon the track.
I can not believe the timing of that safety car. Okay, that's for the full race, but that blew my fucking mind. Anyway.
Yeah. I read several places about like, so how much did Zach Brown pay a fan to just toss that out there? But my first thought was, if you were the person, it happens. But I know that if that was me, I would never let myself live that down, because if I knew that I brought out a virtual safety car in a full-blown Formula One race because I let go of my umbrella, I would curl under a little blanket of shame and never come out. Now, if you're the person and you're somehow listening to this, it's okay, it happens. But I also know I would have never taken that one out of my pocket.
Yeah, I honestly don't blame the person if it was an accident. If it wasn't an accident, fuck you. If it wasn't, controversy. If it wasn't, you know who really is to blame? What was going on at the motherfucking FIA this weekend? What
Elaine, would you not ask that question?
Going on? It was terrible in Monaco, but boy, is it back full force, because one full lap of safety car, one full lap of virtual safety car for that brave marshal to took us across the track and then run his little life back at the speed of light. Like, it was...
You wanted more time or less time?
It needed to be a yellow flag. It did not need to be a virtual safety car. That was ridiculous.
Yellow flags! I always tend on the side of like, let's be super, super overcautious for our marshals. So that's probably me showing that same bias once again. But I feel like if they'd pulled a full safety car, I'd be with you. And I'd be like, this is BS. But a VSC, I don't think it changed that much, right? Like, some people pit, but like...
It didn't, because it only ended up it was like fake news. Oh, it's coming. Just kidding. Like, I'm sure Ross will have something to say about it. Our friend Ross is a chief scrutineer and has been a track marshal. He's our expert authority on all things track and scrutineer related. But
yes,
don't worry, because they pulled a full safety car later on, and the drama never ends.
Yeah, that's the real one that I thought we were going to be incensed about, and you are, probably, but I didn't know the umbrella was going to cause discourse in your heart as well.
I did realize that so many opinions until we started recording this.
That goes for the whole podcast. Yeah, exactly. We're opinion-laden, let me tell you. Okay, well, we transitioned ourselves a ladle of opinions. Good. Just like a little hot soup. We skipped over tea and we went straight to soup. Are you ready for the soup that was the race? In my best entree into the next that's ever existed.
That transition was flawless, Rachel.
Thank you.
Keep
I
that
make
in.
it my MotoGP to always have the best transitions.
Your MotoGP is to proceed from soup. Yes, can we please let us proceed to the race? For pole, we had... I don't have my book with me.
Kimi Antonelli.
Come on! And then, P2.
The most wonderful il predestinato. Butchered that one. Charles Leclerc was in P2. And wow, did my heart leap at that. And then who followed Charles Leclerc for the beginning of the British GP?
All right, so in P3 we had Hamilton, right behind that Russell, and then Hadjar. Hadjar was looking very good, outperforming Verstappen for the qualifying of the actual race. But also, can I just take this little tiny pit stop back to the sprint and say that Liam Lawson was looking so fast and aggressive. He was looking wonderful. He did not quite end up making it into the sprint points, if I'm correct. He was just outside. He was in P8.
Dang, which is frustrating because you're right. Liam Lawson deserves... I don't think he'd quite be my driver of the day because there were some other people who put in major performances, but both V-Carbs looked spectacular this weekend. They are kind of outclassing the rest of the midfield at this point, and they both deserve a little kudos.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right, so moving back to the actual race, do you want to cover the start or should I cover the start? Because that was... I actually didn't look up what happened, but based on what I saw, it was Kimi forgot which one was the gas and which one was the brake.
Oh, no. I actually have not heard anything that it was like a mechanical issue or a dropped clutch or anything. Like, it just... He did not get as great of a start as the Ferraris who swamped around him, and all of a sudden, both Ferraris are in front, are leading, and I'm like, this is... My dreams have come true. However... We immediately had the knowledge that Kimi in the sprint, like, passed Hamilton like he was standing still once he caught up to him. And so, as per usual, my Ferrari heart was very excited and also like, okay, so it's a matter of time, right? It's a matter of time. Not that I don't have faith in my guys, but the car is just still spectacular. And
yes.
Yet...
Do you just want to rip the Band-Aid off? Yeah, just do it, Rachel. Just do it.
Kimi Antonelli, despite driving such a good race, I actually cried tears for him when this happened. You could also say I was a little overtired from my international travels, but he's chasing down Charles Leclerc, who has driven a really excellent race. They've strategized beautifully. He's doing every single thing that he can. However, this is where I come to the fact that the Mercedes is still, on paper and on track, the faster car. Kimi Antonelli is just eating into Charles Leclerc's lead with such vigor. And I was like,
yes.
I don't want it to happen, but I'm also so excited for that battle.
Yes. And what I was so excited to see especially is that I feel like I said this at least 10 times over the weekend. Kimi is looking like a world champion in the sense that Lewis Hamilton was a world champion and Max Verstappen. The way that he is driving with calculated aggression and the passion, it is so clear. Yes, he's having these rookie mistakes. Yes, shit is happening that's outside of his control also. But damn, he is doing such a good job pushing that car to the max and really just driving with no fear, no inhibitions whatsoever. I love it. I loved it. He would have passed, I hate to say this, he would have passed Leclerc.
You're right.
He would have sailed to victory had the car not had a wheel shield issue. Is this, what? The Mercury was in retrograde. There was mayonnaise in the pickle jar.
Like, mayonnaise?
What? Something bad. There was voodoo happening for the cars. Something shitty was happening because both Mercedes had very random issues that should not have been issues.
Yeah, actually, George escaped two rather major issues in this weekend. his qualifying crash and then was able to go ahead and get back out. Kudos to the team. And then he had a crazy puncture. And so I thought that's the end of his race. And yet he made it back to the podium, as he always does. These like sneakily quiet drives that bring him right to where he wants to be. Well, he probably wanted to win his home Grand Prix, but here was his first podium. But anyway, you're right. What the heck was going on with those cars? Kimi's, I don't know if we could really put it down to the little bit of extra curb that he tends to take. I don't think this was a driver error that like resulted in this crazy thing. I think it was just sometimes the car just, you hit the right bit of fragility and bad things happen. That's part of what makes this sport interesting to me, is it's not like, oh, you're relying on your body and your own things that are in control all the time. You're relying on something that is going to have faults sometimes, and that's just good gracious what happened to Kimi Antonelli, that poor sweet baby. The fact that he was like, I'm gonna try.
I want to jump in here with a comment by Alex Brundle after the race. This was in response to talking about Max's car issues, which we will get into, obviously.
Yeah.
But his response was, they're all on the ragged edge of development. Case in point, Antonelli's car having that wheel shield fall, and they couldn't take it out. They tried to pit to reset the tires. They couldn't get it out. He had to come back in. They had to pull it out. Shit is falling off in the middle of the race. These cars are, I mean, they're just pushing so fast that sometimes shit happens. I was horrified for him that it wasn't a driver error. That's never fun when it's not a driver error, it's the car.
Yep. I feel like this is actually a characteristic that we can point to even in the last rule set for Mercedes, is the Mercedes tends to be a tiny bit more fragile, a tiny bit more prone to issues. If you think about McLaren, if you think about their other customer teams, I feel like we saw more of that last season, that's carried over into this rule set as well. And I think that is potentially, as Ferrari girds themselves for a championship bid, like I that may come into actual matteringness. That's not a word, but that's why Kimi Antonelli was like, I will try to stay out for P10, because he knows, sorry, Elaine, close your ears, last year's title was lost by 2 points. I'm sorry to bring that up to you again, but that matters. I can't, this is maybe the benefit of being in two separate places, is I know you're glaring at me, but I just can look somewhere else.
Just turn your face. Just look away, Rachel. Just look away while I stab a knife into the computer screen. It's fine. It's fine.
But Kimi Antonelli is very aware of that, not only because he was watching it, he's on the grid, he's, a part of that season, but also he was a part of one of those incidents that maybe could have decided the championship, and he was apologizing. So, like, this is fresh on this sweet 19-year-old. Sometimes I call him a boy, but also he's driving $1 billion car. Kimi Antonelli.
I'd say his balls have dropped by now. Like, he's
Oh,
full.
no.
He's full man teenager now.
We expect you to be mature.
Yes.
And he is. That's the thing, is he's carrying himself with incredible maturity right now.
Oh my God. So much. Like, even race by race, you can see it. And that's the beauty of growing up in this field. You're forced to grow up very quickly, but also I do want to make the point that it is very clear the mentorship that Kimi is getting, so different from the other mentorships that I'm going to go ahead and say, I think Max entered the grid at a very young age as well, but the way that he was mentored with that pressure cooker, with the fighting a world driver champion, fighting for his next win, and he ends up being the bad guy. The media paints him as the villain, and he's the underdog, and he has all of that pressure coming from Red Bull, versus now you have Kimi Antonelli in a wonderful car who has the chance to win, and you get a little bit more of a nurturing, supportive environment. What could come out of that? You see a little bit less of that anger outburst, a little bit less of the running people off the track learning the hard way, and a little bit more of the let's go team. Let's do this together. Let's keep going. I think it's an interesting case in point.
Yeah, I like that comparison. I think that we've talked about a lot about how you can get the best out of an athlete, out of an artist. And I definitely know which way is going to work best for me. But I also a little bit think that Max excels in that. Now, we will never know if he needed a nurture and we'd get a different driver out of him. But I also would argue that, like, the nurture, the caring is not always the best case, because at the end of the day, you are expected to bring your best. And so I think it is an interesting case study going forward about how you maintain getting the best out of an athlete without putting their mental health, without putting their own performance, their own sense of self at a deficit, and then balancing that with still delivering the top performance.
The thing is if you're not given a choice, you're forced to adapt in that way. Max was never given a chance, but from growing up. I think Joss is not he has said Joss is not a nurturing father.
No.
He is a very much tough love, trial by fire. You do what you have to do, bar none. You lose or not.
Left at a gas station, which is not okay. Never will I condone that.
Do not leave your child at a gas station as much as you would like to. Just don't.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Probably should have been arrested, but it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, Kimi, all of this to say, Kimi has a wheel malfunction and has to drop out of the race, leaving her angel in the sky. That makes him sound dead.
Why are you trying to send him to an early retirement? Elaine, he won. He did it. Leclerc.
Leclerc.
This is what I'm going to say to people. F you, people who told me that he was the second driver. I'm coming for you. Yeah! Gently, kindly. I love a good discourse, but also take that.
Please gently go into that dark good night and go fuck yourself, is what Rachel says. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I feel so proud of this person that not only do I love watching his career, but I just, like, on a human level, it is so gratifying to see someone who is struggling put in the work and have that hard work exemplified and have it rewarded. I actually did not know the meme that he referenced on the radio. I thought he was just wild with joy. Turns out he was referencing a meme, and that's why he made that really weird little giggle. Do you know the meme that I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, I will show you off air. But the tough people last, or tough times never last. The meme is this man looking into the camera and he says, "Tough times never last. Tough people do," and then he makes this, like, woo noise, and I don't know why. Leclerc must know why, because he then emulated it on the radio. And you know what? If you have been going through that tough of a time, please do give us some whimsy on the radio. Thank you, sir.
I was wondering if he had an aneurysm. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit like,
he was cackling.
Oh, I was like, he's broken. He is broken. That broke his brain.
In a great way. But it was a meme. Just so I think everyone knows at this point except for you and I. But now we're gonna educate the last 1%. It was a meme. Can I give him some, like, technical kudos for a second?
Please.
Okay, so we came into this weekend, as I already said, Ferrari is not tipped to win. He's behind Hamilton once again in the sprint setup. We talked a couple episodes ago about that there are kind of two paths. When you're being challenged by a close competitor, you can either try to mimic their style, or you can stay true to knowing that you have your own strengths. And if you can't match their strengths, that's sometimes okay. They also probably can't match all your strengths. So there is not necessarily a right way and a wrong way, but there is a way that we both hoped that he would go, which was to lean into the fact that he's not a bad driver overnight. He just isn't. And that is what he spoke to. I'm actually not crying. I just am being attacked by my sinuses. He talked about that over Friday and Saturday, the data digging in that he did, which he's been doing, but he had finally found the teeny tiniest little thing that made a difference. And so instead of throwing in the towel and saying, well, he is my teammate, the 7-time world driver champion, I should just copy him, he stayed true to the fact that he knew that he could pull something out, and boy, did he do it. Go freaking Charles Leclerc, Forza Ferrari. What a day.
Yes. Period. Rachel, especially after that full safety car that came out and that unfortunately ended the race.
Yeah.
Without any fight, I will say Charles Leclerc kept his cool. The strategy was right. It was excellent driving from him, and I'm so happy for you. I am proud of him. I think his fan base is proud, and he deserved this win, 100%. Here's how I thought it would go.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best thing in the world. It's Leclerc, Kimi, Verstappen. Could there be a better grid? I mean, it could. It could be reversed. It could be Verstappen, Leclerc, Kimi, or Kimi. But
yeah,
amazing.
We shuffle those around. We put Max on top. For you, that would be best.
Now, here is where I blame our friend of the podcast, Konami.
Oh, no!
She said there would be 3 DNFs.
Oh.
3. There were 2. And then, with a few laps left, there were 3.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This is where I hold with very gentle hands as I'm exuberant with joy. I'm like, why can't we ever get a race where both of our drivers do well at the same time? It's always one or the other, I feel like. So I was like, okay, tamp it down, because what the heck? This poor man fixed his car. You sent me a text message saying, I feel nothing. I'm dead inside. Which I assume you're no longer, you're now angry.
Yeah, I do. In fact, I do have a few feelings about it.
Sure.
The rear wing issue that we have seen before, because it happened in Austria, qualifying. It wouldn't close all the way, so he couldn't get the downforce properly needed to turn the car, thus forcing him into the wall in Austria. This is a major issue, for the safety of the driver and just the whole idea of finishing a race. That's kind of an important thing. Yeah. So, why the fuck have you not fixed one of the most important parts of the car for this season? I don't Can you get your fucking shit together? It's the same issue. It's this, and of course Max gets out of the car and he's like, "This is unfucking believable. I just can't." And I don't blame him, because it's not his fault. He is driving to the limit. He knows exactly where to place the car at what moment. He knows exactly how to open the rear wing and close it to get the maximum amount of downforce. He had seconds, massive amounts of cushion in between him and P2 and P4. He was sailing. It was done. And then that one issue, Red Bull should be ashamed of themselves. Period. I'm done.
Yeah,
we can move on.
Well, not to heap concern on this, but
please.
We have a week off, so hopefully they do fix this. But the next race is Spa, which is hugely downforce dependent, very high speed. You need a very stable car. So I am very much hoping, for Max's sake, for Red Bull's sake, for your heart's sake, that they do make some major things, because that is like maybe the worst track on the calendar, to not trust your car to be able to close your rear wing.
It's that this is a major issue. And I do want to just go back to that Alex Brundle comment I made earlier, because our lovely friend, commentator Montoya.
Oh, your favorite man.
My favorite
Wow, we're really angry
man.
at multiple men recently.
What an interesting
You know what? Can
observation.
I say that this is maybe not a caveat I need to make, but if we had more women, we might be mad at women too, but it's a lot of men. So that's the sample size we got.
I just also like these particular men have bullshit sets of opinion. Case in point, when the commentators after the race and the post show were talking about this incident and how Max reacted and how upset he was with the, I'm just going to say, how the car is being handled.
Sure.
Because this is an issue that should have been fixed. And he's upset. And he's like, I'm tired. I'm upset. I just want to go home. Like, we've got to restart. It's awful. Montoya says, Max is just being too harsh about the team wing issue. Like, do you want fast or reliable? Sometimes you can't have both. Sometimes you just can't have both, Max. And if it were me, I would choose reliable. What? No. You must have a car that is reliable to go fast.
Sure.
That is not, you can't, you don't want one or the other. You need both. You must have both. This is why we're in Formula fucking 1. Also, let me just say, Juan Pablo Montoya, you've won 7 races total in your career, and then you got shipped to Indy, so whack it. Clip, motherfucker, clip it.
Oh. It's very fun to see you wind yourself up, send yourself off, and I can just watch the fireworks. I didn't even need 4th of July. I just needed this.
Clip.
Yeah. His comments about just wanting to go home, extraordinarily valid. Like, the guy is at the end of his rope. I will give the teeny tiniest, I like to do an equanimity.
Yes, please.
An equal balance. We did come down extraordinarily hard on George for throwing his Hans device, and Max did toss his steering wheel out of the car, so I have to just note that for...
Wait. Those were his gloves.
Equality. Oh, I saw a steering wheel flying. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad. He didn't toss it, and I think that's the difference. Is it tumbled out of his cockpit to the left, because he kind of like... It a little bit looks like he set it up with a lot of force, and because he set it, it kept tumbling. So I probably, had I not adopted a huge Max Verstappen fan as my lovely friend in life and podcast partner, I may come down harder on him than I am today. But I will just note that for equality, we did really shout at George Russell. But also, Max, I get it, man.
Listen.
I really get it.
The only reason we shouted at Russell is because he was the one to be like, that's not appropriate. We don't act that way.
Fair enough.
We are gentlemen. You're racing. You are not gentlemen.
I think George Russell came into the track with like full Kingsman garb. So yeah, he's aiming for the gentleman. But you make a great point in that there is a double standard in terms of like, Max is never like, hey, let's all follow the rules, y'all.
Max is like, we're doing the best we can and we're trying to go fast. Get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. Russell is like, oh, it's a lovely day.
And that lovely day popped him right up into the podium. But I think that this just adds another shade of like, we didn't get a home race contract extension announcement from George Russell and Mercedes. Max is very upset about where he is. So I just continue to be very interested to know what 2027 looks like, because people, they're not happy. They are not happy.
I think this will be an interesting summer break silly season.
Yep.
Usually the summer break is where we start to see contracts extended, drivers signed or not signed.
Right.
Some upsets, some moves. This will be interesting. I don't honestly know where else there would be to go. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I am a little bit excited. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, last July, we were like jumping backstage, like, it's happening. Max to Mercedes. So if we have to wait a full year and we get it in July of this year, I mean, that's fine. We'd take that. But yeah, we never know, and that's what's fun.
Verstappen.
Verstappen.
Verstappen. Ugh, all right. Rachel, tell me 3 things you didn't like.
I put this in our outline before we were like, well, actually, we really don't like MBS. Actually, that's part of the 3 things. Spoiler alert.
Oh, good.
But while we're here, sure. I'll tell you the 3 things I disliked. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. 3 things I strongly disliked about the British GP weekend. Number 1, Pirelli. You're so good at so many things. What was that podium cap? I hate it. Number 2, MBS in the cart with the Lego racers. Why are you there? Why must you make everything about yourself? I do not understand. And then number 3, the thing that we're all most upset about. Why did we not get an actual finish to the race? Why did we have to do it under safety car? Trace.
Beautiful. No notes. I completely agree. Because apparently the safety car came out for Max's car. It looked like we were going to get 3, maybe 2 laps in of racing. And then even though they said the car was going to come in, the safety car did not come in. And apparently that was, the FIA said, due to a computer error.
Well, so we have 2 things that went wrong here. Here's me, as always, being like, hold on, let's look at the facts, and then we can get angry, because there is reason to be angry.
Okay.
But first of all, this is a hot button item. After 2021, saw fairly similar circumstances. And so they were trying to do their level best to make this fair. Did they do it right? In my opinion, no. But they had the lapped cars unlap themselves, and then in the regulations, you have to have a full lap going around once the lapped cars have unlapped themselves, just so you're not starting the leaders melee into the back of those back markers, right? They called it quite late, and therefore they had like just passed the line that made it not going to be viable to do a full lap and then also get a lap of racing. Then we come to the second problem, which is that broadcast all over the world was told, oh, the safety car is coming in. And that's where the software error was, is some software somewhere was like, hey guys, we're going. And the humans were like, what? Hold on. So we were promised this incredible last lap shootout, and instead George Russell sneaked by because he probably would have been passed on his very old medium tires.
So fortuitous for Rachel, dumpster fire for everybody else.
Hold on. I think Char would have held it. I think he answered every single challenge that was met to him, and I think he would have stayed in front of George. I think George would have been swallowed behind Hamilton, and I will give him the caveat that this worked really well for Ferrari's strategy for Leclerc. They made a gamble to put Hamilton on softs, and that lost track position to George Russell, and boy, was he stewing. And I would be stewing too.
Yeah. Yep. Completely agree with that. I think that's 11 things that you don't like, honestly.
Why stop at 3?
Exactly. Okay, here's one thing I like, Rachel. Both Aston Martins finished the race. Do I care? No. Am I happy for you? Yes.
Well, your happiness is wasted on me because I thought that Fernando was out of the race because he pulled over on the formation lap, and I thought that was it. Did he go into the pit and then keep circulating?
Yes. He completed
How dare I?
51 laps of that race, and he's listed as, he's finished 18th, P18.
I'm both delighted to hear this, and also I know some major Alonso fans. You can come take my fan badge. I will earn it back. I'm so sorry. I did hear some radio from Stroll, and like Stroll got so many track penalties. But listening into his radio, I'm like, you might actually need a spa weekend. Like, I'm not one to feel bad for Stroll, but like,
yeah.
Oh, he was not having a good time.
I mean, they're never having a good time. That is, it's a cow. It's a cow. I don't know. Just paint it black and white, put a bell on it, and like send it out. Like, because, ugh. Okay. Well,
Lego, if you would like to sponsor Aston Martin and maybe furnish, because he did win the Lego race. Fernando Alonso won that. Just in case, Equal Machinery, Fernando Alonso won. In case anyone was going to get it twisted there.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. Okay.
Silverstone, here's the thing. Silverstone always delivers. It always gives us such good content. And whereas some people, you could say like the beginning of the race was like parts of it were a little slow, but it's always fantastic racing.
Yeah.
There's always something exciting that happens. It's just top tier as far as tracks. It is in my heart forever. So yeah, even though the ending was terrible, we will remember this forever.
Absolutely. What a lovely little cliff high to end the episode on.
Sure. I'll just skirt over everything else that I...
Yeah, retroactively, just sweep that under the rug a little bit. Oh, here's
Great.
one more fact for you to really cement the cliff high. 43% of the sold out, highest ever attendance at Silverstone was female. So, you know what? Female fans are here. We're excited. Go Silverstone.
Represent. Just a little note, if you are a male and you are listening, we don't need an explanation on what a halo is. We know what different tire compounds are. And we are here to talk about politics, the driver dynamics, the FIA, and all of the technical aspects of the car and on track.
Boop. Anyone who is listening to us and has been to this point in the episode, they know that, and they're cool. But yeah, this is preempted by an experience that Elaine had recently. It's so fun.
It's just, a little PSA.
It's okay. We're just full of rage today on this Tuesday. We said we're ending on a cliff high, Elaine. You silly, dragging us back down into the mud.
It's fun down here. Oink, oink.
Okay, well, and on that note...
We will be back next week. We will have a Spa preview. I am so excited for Spa. Oh, can't wait. I'm glad you're back. We'll be back in the same house next week, hopefully. We can stare into each other's eyeballs across the table.
Yeah.
It will be lovely. All right. Well, follow us on all of the things, wherever you get your things. We are on the things, and click the button. It's not good enough, is it, Rachel? You're going to make me redo that.
No, it's perfect. I love it. Follow us on the things and click the button. You know what to do.
For the things.
We're all in 2026.
We're all adults here, even Kimi. All right. So with that, it's legs out. And away we go.
That doesn't work virtually, but we'll all see you next week.